back to That Dad Guy. It's October 27th, 2023, and I want to start with a little walk. It's been a little bit since you've had it. The weather here in Moncton has been a little bit crazy lately. On Tuesday morning, I believe it was, I woke up and it was -7. We had our first frost, and we've had it warm up. Yesterday, it was 21 degrees. And this morning it was raining. Now it's 15 degrees. It's not raining anymore. Tomorrow's going to be 22 degrees. And then next week on Halloween, I think it's only supposed to be 6. So we are going up and down, up and down. We are having bits of summer splashed with cold water of frost, of fall. It's crazy. But right now it's not raining. So I thought, what a perfect time for just do a little walk around the house. You can see what's going on. I'm in sandals right now, so my toes might get wet in the leaves. We'll see. All right, out the front door. I can hear somebody is probably have a leaf blower going. It sounds like a chainsaw, but I think it's someone's leaf blower because you can see my front yard is covered in leaves. I haven't gone out and raked any up yet, so the poor neighbors that are raking them and getting mind blowing into their yard have to suffer with it. If you remember the grapevines and the kiwis, you can see here the fruit is all gone. The leaves are turned. The leaves have fallen even. And then if you look this way, you can see the trees are pretty bare. The leaves have come off them, except for that one green one. I'm not sure why, but that one always is one of the last to turn its leaves and fall. The neighbor has this beautiful red tree. A lot of his leaves are down, but there's still some there. You can see my lawn is covered. This tree at the side will get a nice red color. You can see at the top it is starting, but it'll work its way down. It'll be a beautiful red before the leaves completely fall off of it. And here we have some leaves here. You can see how there has been a bird's nest created in that tree. We'll go around back. I desperately need to do one last mow, I think. You can see the leaves are all come down here around the fire pit. That tree is almost empty now, same as the one behind it. The neighbor's trees are getting pretty empty. This tree has lost all its leaves. The grapevine has lost all its foliage around it. And yeah, there's a good amount of leaves. Tomorrow being such a nice day, I think I might try to tackle it. If you look off, you can see if I can even zoom in. There are still apples on that tree. They'll have to be plucked and put in the garbage, I guess, now. I haven't had a successful year of apples yet from that tree. Yes, I get them, but they're always riddled with something or other. They're not edible. I've sprayed it one year. I'm gonna have to try to figure out what to do because I'd like to get some edible fruit off that. Same with the pear tree over there. It produces fruit, but I haven't got much in the way off of it that you could actually eat. I think I've eaten like maybe one. You can see there's an itty bitty pear that's on it now. Not much of anything. And you can see, oh, check this, I'll show you the apples. They get these diseases all through them, so I wouldn't eat any of those. I'm not sure what it is that gets into them, but they're not great. And there's a bunch of different varieties. And I'm stepping on them here, so I need to collect them. All the fruit that way is gone. And around you can see how, if you've been watching some of the videos in the past of what the yard looks like, you can see how it's changing and how the leaves are all coming down and gone. Including here in the boxes. Now these boxes here, I took the plants out, they died last year. I put new dirt in it. You can see how the dirt is all sunk down. It is settling, or it is going into my neighbor's yard, something or other. I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks pretty nice back here. All right, that's probably not why you tuned in though. Let's go inside the house and check out the postcards that arrived this week. This week, only one official postcard came in, but I'm very fortunate enough to have many faithful people that direct swap with me or send me first-time messages. So I do have a lot of mail that I still can show you. But I'm gonna start with the direct swap one. And no, I'm not. I'm gonna start with the official one and then go into the direct swaps and surprise mail. So if you've made it this far, make sure you subscribe, like, leave a positive comment, and share with other people. There's my spiel. Let's get into the cards. This one comes from the Netherlands. That's my first, or that's my only official card that I got this week. And what I really love about that is it's a family that is doing it. They said, wouldn't it be great to have a hedgehog as a pet? Looking at my profile saying that I do have a hedgehog as a pet. They said they have them in their vegetable garden. They look so cute, and they'll make a sleeping place for them for the winter. Now, if you've seen Polo, my hedgehog is an African hedgehog, so he's only this big. You can see him at the end of the video. He's not very big compared to a European hedgehog, which I've seen are quite large in comparison. It would be a very different pet to have, I'm sure. But I love the fact that this is a family post-crossing together. It's a wonderful thing to be able to go to the mailbox and see the mail and enjoy it for the whole family. All right, let's get into my official ones now that I've I'm gonna get this right sometime. Let's get into my direct swaps now that I've done the official one. All right, this first one comes from Anita in Austria, and it's kind of that birthday message. I'm loving the fact that I'm getting birthday greetings still, even though my birthday was 2 weeks ago now. The month of October has almost been deemed my birthday. I was receiving some best wishes before my birthday, and now I'm still getting them after. So thank you, Anita, for the birthday wishes and all the stamps there. Really cool car. And who doesn't like to have a nice treat on their birthday? Or treat anytime, really. I love frosting. All right, she also sent me this card here, which is from a meetup. A little bit of washi tape along the bottom. And the cool stamps and all the attendees. Quite a few people were there, so thank you, Anita, for that. Love it. The next card is a Lego card. It comes from Keeks in Washington, and from a distance it just looks like a pen and some words and an ink blot, but as you get closer you can see these are all just Lego bricks that have created it. So thank you, Keeks. And there are the stamps. And this one here, I'm going to read it because it says, the oldest trees, the Bristol cone pines, the oldest Bristol cone pines, so named for the long hooked spines on the scales of their cones, are more than 4,500 years old. Twisted and gnarled by the elements, they grow in rocky and regions of 6 western states. And I'll show you the stamp again. So there you go. A little bit of history to go along with those stamps and waterfalls and famous people. So thank you, Keeks, for that. I always enjoy getting mail from you. And we have a World Postcard Day card. This one comes from Rovic in the Philippines. And he put a stamp that has his president on it, which was, he was celebrating his 66th birthday. So they put out a stamp. And there's a flag in the background as well. And Rovic just tells me all about what's going on in his exams and the fair that's coming up. So good luck in all your courses, and thank you for the correspondence. This next card comes from Luna in Italy, but Luna happened to be in the micro state of San Marino when she sent this card. So that's why we have this a little bit bigger card. And on the back, you can see the San Marino stamps. I must admit, I didn't know a lot about San Marino when she said that she was going there. I just thought it was another place in Italy. And then when I got the stamps and noticed they weren't Italian stamps, I did Google it and got re-educated. And then I was like, oh yeah, there is that micro country there. And that's what it's called, San Marino. So yeah, this old brain sometimes has forgotten bits of history that I used to know. And so now it was good to be caught up on it again. So thank you, Luna, for thanking me while you were on your vacation and sending those beautiful stamps from the micro country. So snail mail with Smokey. I'm sure he has a few of those because that's one of his passions with philately is collecting micro countries. So San Marino, I'm sure, is one of them. All right, this next card comes from Bob here in Canada, in Ontario. It's been a little while since I've heard from Bob, so he just wrote me this card and a bit of a congratulations on reaching my 1,000 subscriber milestone. And he asks, have I seen the new Mr. Dress Up documentary on Amazon Prime? I have seen it. I thought it was fantastic. It reminded me a lot of my childhood. There's some sad points in too about his family and things. The connections with Fred Rogers in the United States. And Mr. Dress Up is one of these famous Canadians, we call him, but he was born in Maine in the United States, but has spent or did spend a good portion of his working career here as an educator for children on television on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation channel. So yeah, it was great to see Mr. Dressup. If you don't know who he is, you gotta look into it. Watch the documentary, it's fantastic. And yeah, it's interesting to know that Mr. Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood off of public service television in the United States and Mr. Dressup here in Canada were friends. They worked together. Fred Rogers came to Canada at one point in time and brought Ernie Coombs, who is Mr. Dressup, with him. And Ernie stayed, and Fred went back to Pittsburgh to have the success that he had, and Ernie carved out his own success here in the country. So there's some history on Mr. Dressup, or Ernie Coombs, and there's the stamp that Bob put on there. So thank you for that. The next card comes from Robert in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he is talking about the Balloon Fest. There are some fantastic designs and balloons in there. We have a great balloon festival in Sussex, New Brunswick in September. I didn't end up going to it this year. It was a bit of a rainy weekend, and I had a funeral at the same time that I went to, and we passed through, so it just didn't work out. So it was kind of nice to see this card and all the activity that's there. And then he said he put piñata stamps on the back in memory or of my birthday, or in honor of my birthday. So thank you, Robert, for those. It'd be nice to see what kind of candy was inside of them. All right, the next card comes from Amber in Missouri in the United States. So we have this mastodon here, and she says, I hope you had a successful World Postcard Day. I did. I had a really good postcard day this year. Hopefully you did as well. I still have a few cards left to send out of Polo, but so they took their child to Butterfly House to learn about the life cycle of butterflies. So that's fantastic. It's a nice thing to do, and probably a great memory for your child. Next card comes from Katja. It's a bit of almost a maxi card. And the Katja's in Sweden, so we have this beautiful Porsche, and a nice stamp up here, and then on the back, we have a couple more really nice stamps that were never canceled, and she's decorated it up nicely. She says, I'm sending you this Porsche this time. And it's been rainy there. And she said, because it was a rainy day, they went to a candy store. What else do you do? Go to a candy store. Yeah, rainy day, sunny day, any day is a good day for candy. So thank you, Katja. The next card comes from Ambre in France. And this storybook card, really like how it is a designed card that looks like a storybook of her town. Look at the beautiful architecture that's there. So much history, I am sure. And she's getting ready to move into her new house. And there is stamps with a community garden stamp. So thank you, Ambre, and good luck with the move into your new place. It'll be exciting. This next card comes from Yulia in Ukraine. And she is in Odessa. She always gives me a nice update on, well, not a nice update. She gives me an update on what's been going on over there. So she writes on the back, Happy World Postcard Day. Today is October 1st, 2023. It's one of the most important days for us and our country, the Day of Defenders of Ukraine. For the rest of my life, I will be proud to live in a country among such legendary and strongest people, and I will hardly ever know anyone stronger than them in spirit and in thirst for life and the freedom. Glory to the heroes and eternal memory to those who died for Ukraine. We will never forget and never forgive. All the best. Yulia. The last bit is a bit sad. Never forgive. With time, things do pass, and we change our perspective, but in the heat, the raw of what's going on in the world, I understand the sentiment. And there are some beautiful stamps. So much color, so much meaning. Thank you very much, Yulia. Stay safe, and I am glad that I can hear from you from time to time on Instagram as well, and you give me an update on what's going on with drones and all sorts of stuff. So stay safe, my friend. The next card is a maxi card from Jilly B of Jilly B Living Her Life Her Way on YouTube. Check her out. Paddington Bear. He is one of the staples from my childhood. watched the Paddington Bear cartoon show, had books with Paddington Bear, and when I saw the series of stamps come out in the UK, it just brought back flashes of those memories. I can even picture this episode where Paddington has gone to the beach and he comes across the crab when he's digging in the sand. So she's decorated with unicorns as a unicorn gang member. So thank you, Jilly, for that, and thank you for a trip down memory lane through the stamps and the postcards. Next card comes from our friend Louis in Madrid in Spain. He sent this one here, our dearly departed queen. And he says, happy World Postcard Day to you. He's been very busy traveling with work and things like that, so he wasn't as active on World Postcard Day as he has been in the past. So that's too bad. But I'm glad he's in communication. There are the stamps that he has sent from Spain. So thank you, Louis. All right, this next card comes from Prince Edward Island here in Canada. And I would normally say it's from Helen, but it's not from Helen because I can see that she has passed on her post-crossing bug or her direct swap bug to her grandkids. And so she sent this Halloween card, very spooky, with the lady with the pumpkin head, or the witch with the pumpkin head, and the black cat, and the crescent moon, and the cauldron, and all things witchy-like happening there on the Halloween. On the back it says, when Halloween is here, the monsters appear, and the candy disappears. Candy disappears here as well. So thank you, Jace and Julie O'Hanley, and Xavier and Zoe Deal for getting into post-crossing, sending postcards with your grandmother, whether you call her nanny or grandma or whatever you do. Thank you, Helen, for introducing the grandkids to it, and for making them watch me here in Moncton. So thank you. Great to get a card from you. All right, this next one is an envelope. It comes from Renee Lewis of Renee Lewis on YouTube. You know, you've got to watch her too. Because it came in an envelope, it got me worried. There's the forever stamp. She's been sending, how do I say this delicately? She's been sending pictures of her boobies all around the world. And so when I got a envelope, I wondered what was inside of it. Now, let me refresh it a little bit. Her boobies. These are her boobies that she's been sending around the world. This card, this Halloween card that's made its way to myself and to Jilly B and to Smokey in Wisconsin, and who knows who else has have seen pictures of her boobies. But those are the boobies I'm talking about. If your mind was in the gutter, it's all right. It's not a bad place to be, but this is what I was talking about. Renee's boobies that are traveling around the world. So inside this envelope were not pictures of Renee's boobies, but a beautiful card that says, "Nailed it." And inside the card, she's given me a little note that she says, "I hope this card finds you well. I'm writing this short note while watching your latest video," which was on September the 24th. "I wanted to be sure to get Jen's Unicorn Gang treats out to you. I decided to send you the magical one because of your YouTube send-off," which I always say. You can add it in there. "I think Jen is incredibly talented." I would have to agree. So this is the magical card that she sent. Jen has created this. Now, I don't know Jen, but it says it's Dolly Gosh at 2023. So I'm guessing Dolly Gosh is what she goes by. I don't know if that's on Instagram or if that's YouTube or if that's her Postcrossing name. But Jen, if you happen to watch this, you can reach out and say hello. You are a fantastic artist. And this is a magical unicorn. And the other one she sent me was this Unicorn Gang one here too. These are almost, if they were a little bit bigger, you could send them off as postcards. I could probably send it off in Canada with a little label, or it's a great bookmark, or these could be beautifully framed and put up. You're a great artist, Jen. So if you are watching, thank you. Renee, you probably will watch at some point. So thank you for continuing friendship and sharing your artwork with me. I noticed you sent them to Jilly as well in the Unicorn Gang. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Moving along, the next card comes from David in California. And here we have a Disney one that's Happy Halloweens or Happy Haunting as it shows here. You can see the Disney characters in their normal format and in their scary format in the background. It says, wishing you lots of treats and no tricks for Halloween. I've got boxes of chips that I'm giving out this year. Normally we give out cans of pop and Kool-Aid drinking boxes to the little kids. This year we found a great deal at Costco and couldn't pass it up, so we're giving big bags of chips. All right, the next one is another trick-or-treat card. This one here comes from Katja again in Sweden. I had one earlier, I didn't put them together, I guess. And so she says, it's such a fun time of the year. I love everything spooky. We can't decorate this year because of their cat who will get into the decorations. There's an image of the cat, and there are some beautiful stamps. But it's interesting to know that trick-or-treating is happening in Sweden as well. I know it's quite a popular North American thing to do, but I have heard it's starting to spread into Europe and down under, so other places are getting on board with it. The next one, sorry, just gotta position this again, comes from Hilvi in Sweden. Oh, get it the right way up. So we have one of the postal hugs from Sweden. I didn't have this card, she asked. She thought I hadn't. There are the stamps that she's put on the back. A space exploration one. That one rings true right now because I'm watching the TV show For All Mankind on Apple TV. It's kind of it's a space science show. If Russia had put the first man on the moon ahead of the United States, what the space race might have looked like, and it had gone on a little bit further. So it's kind of an interesting take on it, and it throws in different historical people and events at the same time. So I like that as a historical lover. So thank you very much. So Helvi, you also asked for a World Postcard Day card from me with Polo. I have some left, so I will make sure I get one off to you. All right, the next one, very, very cute hedgehog postcard. This one comes from Yulia in Russia, in St. Petersburg, and she's written on some exciting news on the back, so I'm very excited for you, Yulia, that you deserve all the best, and I'm glad that you're able to send me cards, even if I'm still not able to send anything to Russia. I do think about you, so I am glad that you are safe, and hearing from you every once in a while is good. I know you put comments on videos and stuff too, so that's been great communication back and forth, that everything is going well. So thank you. And the beautiful stamps she's added with some Halloween decorations. Question for you, if you are watching this one, is there any sort of Halloween events that happen in Russia? I don't know. Is it spread to Russia? Let me know. All right, the next card, another Halloween card, comes from Kristen in Texas and the United States. So there we have some spooky ghosts. And on the back, we've got some nice stamps. So thank you, Kristen, for that Halloween one. Came just in time for Halloween. All right, next card comes, another kind of spookier one. This one comes from Erin in Colorado. And she asked, do you have any favorite Halloween memories or memorable costumes? That almost should be a question for my Saturday, but as it's not for that, I will answer it here. Yes, I have a memory. We used to have costumes back in the 70s when I was younger. There were plastic costumes that came with the plastic mask and the little rubber band thing that would tie it around the back. I had a stormtrooper one, and I went to the first house, and the back of my costume ripped out of it, and the rubber band that connected my mask snapped off, and so it was an utter failure. But luckily I have a very creative mother, and she was able to tie it back up and put it in a way that the costume still worked, and I was able to go around the neighborhood and collect candy as a stormtrooper. So I remember those early costumes. They came in a little box. You got every sort of character was going. I think we bought ours probably at Shoppers Drug Mart, a local pharmacy. And so that's one of my memories from Halloween and one of the costumes that I had. But yeah, good to travel down memory lane. There are the stamps that Erin put on the back. And I'm sure you guys have similar memories. Feel free to list them in the comments. It'll be fun to read all about them. The next one is an envelope. It comes from Finland, from my friend Mirja. And Mirja, I noticed on Smokey's latest video, sent him a card through official Postcrossing. And so, yeah, she sent this card in the envelope. Nice winter scene. We're not there yet, but it is coming. And then cute animals of, kind of baby animals of Finland. So we have that. And we will go back to this again. Look at that stamp. It's almost like what I would expect to see around Easter time, but a beautiful bouquet of flowers nonetheless. Try to get this back in the envelope. Let's put it aside there. And then the next card is kind of Halloween meets Day of the Dead. We have Yoda in almost a Day of the Dead mask, but very great for Halloween. You can see his skeleton hands and feet there too. I really like this. She says she found this at a local shop. I knew it was perfect fit for a postcard for me. You nailed it. This is great and perfect timing with Halloween. There are the stamps. So thank you very much, Kara. Kara is in Washington on the West Coast of the US, if I forgot to mention that earlier. The next card comes from Zach, and he's in Illinois. He had this card created, and so we have an image of Halloween there. And he says this is his very first holiday card. Now it's time for fall. He likes fall for the colors and the cider, but hates what comes next, the winter and the snow. Yeah, and he said that he used to like winter until he started to drive. Now he doesn't as much. I feel your pain there. Driving in the winter is annoying, to say the least. You never know what you're going to be driving on, if it's going to be snow or ice, or whether the car will stop when you want it to stop, and all the rest of the fun things that go along with it. All right, this next envelope I got came from Shara in British Columbia, and she is incredibly talented. She's created this envelope and decorated it. We have a couple pen canceled Christmas stamps on top. And this is a birthday card. And so he says, "It's your birthday, smile, happy birthday." And this is all stitched. You can see there. He said a lot of post-crossers, I asked her about it. She said she saw other creative people doing it, running it through the sewing machine. Her sewing machine wasn't working, so she hand stitched this card, and beautifully decorated. She is super talented, so thank you so much, Shara, for creating that and sending it on for my birthday. It means a lot. I appreciate it. The last thing I have showed up from someone I didn't know. This envelope from Marcia in Nanaimo, British Columbia. So focus on the stamps. They're really nice stamps. Some older ones in there. And in it, she sent me this postcard with beautiful, delicious Nanaimo bars. If you haven't had a Nanaimo bar, they are a staple. She is from Nanaimo, British Columbia, so the birthplace of these. She also mentioned there was a stamp that was put out in 2019 that featured the Nanaimo bar. I think I've showed that in the past. But what she said on the back says, "I came upon your videos by chance. I was not into postcards at the time, but I did enjoy the videos that featured stamps, especially your father's collection. As time passed, the postcards and their stories began to interest me more and more. And as you have probably guessed, I've now signed up to be on Postcrossing in May. Congratulations, welcome to the hobby. It is very addictive, so I'm sure you'll have fun." She says she's also a subscriber to my channel, and thanks me for introducing me to the hobby. I think that is a ring of endorsement. I love hearing stories like that people have heard from however they found me on YouTube, heard about Postcrossing, and joined up as a result of seeing the excitement that I have for the hobby. Also, other people that are into philately stamp collecting have started to find my channel and have seen stamps, and they like the videos I do with stamps, but they stayed in and tuned in for the ones about postcards too. And there are stamps, like on Friday's video, I show all the stamps that come on the postcards, so you can see stamps from around the world that way. And it has, like Marcia, I guess, interest other people. I'm going to show this too. This is the recipe for making Nanaimo bars, if you want to yourself. pause on that and you can see exactly how to make a delicious Nanaimo bar, and they are delicious. They're fantastic. She went on to write, she says, I have a small request. Yeah. So her request was that she's a stamp collector. That's why she found me originally. And she noticed that I have my own stamps I created through a Canada Post when Canada Post was allowing you to create your own image stamps. So I have some with that have that dad guy logo on it, and she was hoping she could get one. So I'm going to send a thank you regardless back, and yeah, you'll get one of those stamps. I'll make sure of it. So thank you, Marcia, for reaching out. I love hearing from people that are watching and how they found me and why they continue to watch. I recently had sent a postcard to somebody through an official postcard went out, and they responded by saying things have come full circle. And what she meant by that was she watched me on YouTube. She liked the fact that what I was talking about with postcrossing. She signed up for postcrossing and has become a postcrosser and loves it. And then she got a postcard from me, from the person that she originally found out about it from. So I like the fact that that's happened too, that this, even though there's 800,000 plus postcrossers around the world, little things like that can still happen. You can still watch a video by one of the people that are out there, including myself, that talk about postcrossing, and you might actually get a card randomly selected that sends you something from one of us. So that's really cool. And what I really like is when people respond back, and I've said it over again, if you want to write to me, go for it. I will try my best to respond to those letters with a thank you, because they do mean a lot. So thank you very much. Well, that's it for this week. That's all I've got, and it was a lot. My videos seem to be getting longer because more and more of you seem to be writing. So I hope you don't mind. And tomorrow is That Dad Guy Answers. So if you've got questions for me, make sure you go to last Saturday's video, the ones that say part 89, and leave me a question, and then tomorrow I'll answer it. Remember, the first Saturday of every month, I read the answers you've responded to me on my question, and the question I sent out for you this month was, what are some of your favorite birthday memories? Because October seems to be my birthday month. All right, you guys, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?